There is a very thin but a fine distinction between an appeal against conviction on the one hand and acquittal on the other. Stop. The preponderance of judicial opinion of this court is that there is no substantial difference between an appeal against conviction and an appeal against acquittal, except that while dealing with an appeal against acquittal, the court keeps in view the position that the presumption of innocence in favor of the accused has been fortified by his acquittal, and if the view adopted by the High Court is a reasonable one and the conclusion reached by it had its grounds well set out on the materials on record, the acquittal may not be interfered with. Stop. Thus, this fine distinction has to be kept in mind by the court while exercising its appellate jurisdiction. Stop. The golden rule is that the court is obliged and it will not abjure its duty to prevent miscarriage of justice, where interference is imperative and the ends of justice so require, and it is essential to appease the judicial conscience. Also, this court had the occasion to state the principles which may be taken into consideration by the appellate court while dealing with an appeal against acquittal. Stop. There is no absolute restriction in law to review and relook the entire evidence on which the order of acquittal is founded. Stop. If, upon scrutiny, the appellate court finds that the lower court's decision is based on erroneous views and against the settled position of law, then the said order of acquittal should be set aside. Stop. To put it appropriately, we have to examine, with reference to the present case, whether the impugned judgment of acquittal recorded by the High Court suffers from any legal infirmity or is based upon erroneous appreciation of evidence. In our considered view, the impugned judgment does not suffer from any legal infirmity and therefore, does not call for any interference. Stop. In the normal course of events, we are required not to interfere with a judgment of acquittal. The court also took the view that the appellate court cannot lose sight of the fact that it must express its reason in the judgment, which led it to hold that acquittal is not justified. Stop. It was also held by this court that the appellate court must also bear in mind the fact that the trial court had the benefit of seeing the witnesses in the witness box, and the presumption of innocence is not weakened by the order of acquittal, and in such cases, if two reasonable conclusions can be reached on the basis of the evidence on record, the appellate court should not disturb the findings of the trial court. Stop. If we analyze the above principle somewhat concisely, it is obvious that the golden thread which runs through the web of administration of justice in criminal cases is that if two views are possible on the evidence adduced in a case, one pointing to the guilt of the accused and other to his innocence, the view which is favorable to the accused should be adopted. Stop. There are no jurisdictional limitations on the power of the appellate court, but it is to be exercised with some circumspection